Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Kate with Beautiful Light Home. I am a Waldorf inspired homeschooling mama to 2 kiddos, and I am in the midst of planning our first grade curriculum for next year. This video is part of an entire series I'm doing about planning curriculum and how I'm going, why I'm doing it, why I'm not just purchasing a curriculum, and how I'm doing it. So you can come to my page and see all the different videos I have about planning curriculum, and as I'm going, I'm just adding videos as we go. So today I just want to tell you a little bit about how I worked our schedule for next year. So I'm all about using free resources. So the other day I did it's called print-a-calendar.com. And I just wanted to get an idea of what the layout of our next year was going to be. I had already kind of guessed that we'd do like a 3-week block on form drawing, but then I started looking. I was like, ooh, I know based off of a couple of my resources that after form drawing we're going to do a block of language arts followed by a block of math, a block of language arts followed by a block of math. Each of these will be 4 weeks, essentially. So the first block, language arts, will be 4 weeks. The second block, math, 4 weeks. So I know we're going to basically bounce back and forth. There's going to be 4 blocks of language arts, woven back and forth with 4 blocks of math, and then so that's 8 blocks total, if that makes sense. So again, just following that pattern of starting language arts, and then math, language arts, math, language arts, math. We have 8 full blocks there, and then our 9th block, which will be 4 blocks, is a home surroundings block, which I haven't gotten to yet, but that's what I have. So we have 9 blocks. So I knew we had basically like 36 weeks worth of work plus the form drawing weeks that I was planning on doing. So I wanted to get this on a calendar, and I wanted to see how this was going to look, because I didn't want to have, there's holidays, there's times that my husband has weeks off of work that we normally do day trips and things like that. So I wanted to have like a clear picture of what our schedule was going to look like. So I used, like I said, that free resource, it's at the bottom of this page, print-a-calendar.com. And you can set up how you want to print out each of your calendars. I started from August and I went all the way through July of 2025 for me. And then I started just filling in vacations that my husband has. So again, those weeks I knew that we're most likely going to have down weeks where we aren't going to be as heavily focused on schoolwork. So I wanted to put those in. I knew holidays. I have there's a ruby-throated hummingbird outside that caught my attention, so I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Anyway, back on track. So I have an Etsy shop, and it typically gets busy, hopefully continually gets busy in the month of December, right around the holidays. So my intention has always been to take off the month of December. So I kind of interspersed that, and I kind of looked at it, and I definitely hit some conundrums in here, and I wanted to share with you those. So first of all, my first plan was to do form drawing for 3 weeks. The reason why you do not have to start Waldorf education in first grade with form drawing. You absolutely do not have to do that. My intention of doing it with my son, and you can see this in the form drawing video, is that he has never sat down for formal lessons before. First grade is our first actual academic year. Before this, it's been mostly play-based, it's story time, it's circle time. And so this is going to be his first time sitting down to do actual work. And I felt like form drawing was a really soft way to ease him into the rhythm, this new rhythm of having to do work every day. So my original intention was to do form drawing for 3 weeks. But when I actually looked at my schedule, I'm starting in September, and then like my husband has a week off. So when I looked at it, I was like, well, the way this is going to go it doesn't make sense for us to do 3 weeks of form drawing. Let's just do 2 weeks. That's probably all that's necessary. And then we'll have a week off when my husband's on vacation. So we're gonna start with form drawing for only 2 weeks, and that's okay. It's okay that's only 2 weeks, because the rest of those lessons that I was going to do, I can do as our weekly form drawing assessments and lessons. I'm totally not worried about that. So that's something where I hit a little bit of a block, but it was fine. It rolled right through. So in September, we're gonna do 2 weeks of form drawing, and then we're gonna pause for my husband's vacation. And then we're gonna get right back into it with our first block, a 4-week block of language arts. So then I started going through and I was like, okay, October, that's easy. The first 3 weeks of October are gonna be block 1, language arts. We'll skip to block 2, which is math. Great, okay. And then I hit November and I'm like, well, I looked and I was like, wow, Thanksgiving is the last week of the month, right? And I host Thanksgiving, and I know already going into the week, like, I know what this week is. This week is kind of chaos a little bit because I host Thanksgiving, so I'm getting the house ready, getting food ready. The day after Thanksgiving, we typically put up Christmas decorations and things like that. So like, I know this week is a wash. So I started looking and I was like, well, okay, I have this week here, right? This week of the 17th, because our block 2 for math ends the week of the 16th. And now here we are, the week of the 17th. What do? Do I start a new block? My intention has always been to go into December not really doing any lessons. So like if I did that, then we would have to pick up we would work the week of Thanksgiving. What do I do here? I'm very fortunate. My sister is light years ahead of me in homeschooling. Her son is 10 and her other son is 7. And so she's been doing homeschooling for a much longer time period than I have been. So I just reached out to her and I said, like, what do I do? This would be, if I have 2 options. One, I can go into the month of December and kind of have a kind of chaotic month. Or I could take 7 weeks off, which felt crazy too. And nothing felt right in that situation. So I asked my sister, and she had said, like, she finds when they take too long of blocks, and this is her, so this might not apply to other people, but I can see me having a similar situation, where if she takes too long of a time period off, it's hard to get back into the rhythm. So what I did was, and she had said, like, well, you can do kind of like a family block about Christmases around the world, or some sort of like December activity and like mini curriculum. I actually have like an Advent curriculum that goes for the whole month of December up until Christmas, and it's like mini lessons. It's not going to be as intense as our normal everyday lessons, but at least we can keep the rhythm going. So in November, we're going to take off the 2 weeks, the week of the 17th and the week of the 24th. And again, this is just what I'm doing, just based off of my own schedule. I just want to tell you about some points I hit that could have gotten a little crazy. And then here in December, I'm doing just an Advent curriculum, and that will go up to Christmas, and then we'll take basically like a school year. We'll take the rest of Christmas off up until the 5th, the week of the 5th. And then I can get right back into our blocks. So it's just like these mini breaks that we're doing. But then I will have to, it does mean that we're going to go until July for the rest of our blocks, because then we come back from our Christmas break essentially. Sorry. And we're essentially going to go from block 3 for 4 weeks to block 4, which will be math. And again, we're just rotating back and forth. Language arts 3 to math. I did write in Holy Week, because we do normally do, we have like little activities that we do for Holy Week and everything. So I just put everything in here, and then we basically just keep going. I think we took 2 weeks off in June. Like I took a week off in June and a week off in July, and then we're gonna finish our home block in the month of July. which would probably be fine anyway because it's going to be mostly like our home block is a home surrounding block, and it's going to be mostly things that are in our area that will be great field trips, which is perfect for the month of July. So I just wanted to share with you what we're doing, what my plan is, and how I personally solved some of the timing issues of things that I have going on for the next school year. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions as far as planning out your year, please feel free to reach out to me. I am not an expert on this, but I can just share. Sometimes when you have a different perspective, it's easier if you're not so focused in on it, if you're not so close to the situation, that if you have somebody from the outside perspective who could help you. So I'm here. So feel free to reach out in comments. You can also come over to my Instagram page, which is also Beautiful Light Home. And it was lovely chatting with you today. So have a great day. Bye.